Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Indeed, all praise is for Allah. We praise Him, seek His assistance, and seek His forgiveness. We seek refuge in Allah from the evil promptings of our souls and from our evil actions. Whoever Allah guides, none can misguide, and whoever Allah leaves to stray, none can guide aright. I testify that none had the right to be worshipped but Allah alone, having no partner, and I testify that Muhammad, may Allah exalt his mention, is his slave and his messenger. Beloved kids and mom and all of you, we are inshallah gathered in order to speak about our beloved Lord. Today, listen, I want to tell you some important points which I really need to tell you before our lesson Nuraniya started. That is what is your essential rights? What are the essential rights you need to know? You know, Islam, through Christianity, through Judaism, all other known and unknown divine religions are from the same source, Allah Jalla wa Ala. Allah Almighty, who inspired and revealed these religions throughout the history of mankind. Why Allah did that? Why Allah Jalla wa Ala did that? He did that for one thing only. Allah Jalla wa Ala want to establish peace, law, justice, ethics upon earth. Allah Jalla wa Ala Almighty assigned man and none other creature than man. Allah Jalla wa Ala blessed him. Allah Almighty blessed man with a very peculiar nature. He want to make him, assigned man as a vicegerent on earth. He didn't do that for the angels. He didn't do that for any, but for man. He Almighty blessed man with a very particular nature. Man may commit sins, but shortly after repentance, often returning to his Lord, his beloved Lord, Allah Jalla wa Ala, the Almighty, seeking His mercy, forgiveness, and blessing. When man is seeking Allah, mercy, forgiveness, blessing, Allah is responding. That is one nature of man. As for the other nature, man is blessed with innocent, clean, honest, tender heart that leads him to obey his Lord, his beloved Lord, Allah Jalla wa Ala. Allah Almighty let man wants to worship Allah sincerely and seek His blessings and guidance. Allah Almighty revealed His divine laws for man. These laws fulfill the various needs of man on earth. These laws help preserve human nature and race, protect
the environment, support the truth, and fight evil wherever it might be, and regardless of the source. And therefore, man is in deep need to know and maintain essential right of life. Essential right of life. Some of the major rights that man should know, recognize, and assure throughout his life, we are going to sum up them as follows. We are going through the book of essential rights to tell these rights, because it is very important to know in order to be able to behave and act accordingly. These rights are summed up as follows. Number one and most important is the right of our Creator, Allah Almighty. And number two, the rights of the Prophet Muhammad, may Allah exalt his mention. He is the guide and the teacher who delivered the message of Allah, the Almighty. And then the rights of our birth parents, and the rights of our birth children, and the rights of the relatives and kin, and the rights of both the husbands and the wife, and the rights of the neighbors, and the rights of our fellow Muslims, and the rights of even non-Muslim fellow citizens. We should know these rights, and they were expressed by the writer of that book, Muhammad Said Dibas from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. He actually said that he expressed his gratitude to his Shaykh Ibn al-Uthaymeen for presenting this book in Arabic, and he is saying that he truly enjoyed to do that in English after that. We are trying to let these rights be guided by us in order to be able to continue, inshallah. Now, to continue what we were saying, we were talking about the first and the most important and the foremost right, which is Allah Jalla wa Ala right. Allah Almighty right is the most essential right that man must fulfill. He must fulfill it first. And this is the right of our Lord, the Creator and the caretaker and the Almighty, who Jalla wa Ala has the most important rights of all. Allah Jalla wa Ala is the King of all kings, the Master of all masters, the omnipotent, the just, the only one who has neither wife nor son, the one who creates from nothing and returns his creation again to the grace. He, Jalla wa Ala, again, as we said, that Allah Almighty, He enabled him, has full rights. We have to know this, and we have to establish knowing that. Again and again, Allah Jalla wa'ala has the most important rights of all rights. Allah Jalla wa'ala, the Almighty, He is the King of all kings, the omnipotent, the just, the only one who has neither wife nor a son, the one who creates from nothing and returns His creation again to the earth to become like soil, dirt once again. Once again, He made Adam from that, and after death of his offsprings, they return back to again to become like soil, dirt once again. He is the one who grants all the graces. Since man was a fetus in his mother womb, where no one was capable of providing a sufficient food, any kind of nourishment, except him. In the womb, Allah Jalla wa'ala, the Almighty, provided 3 layers of darkness for comfort, protection, and proper isolation. And later, He was the one who provided you, mom, with warm milk from her breast to give you suitable type of food at all times and in all accordance with your age. Yet Allah the Almighty, was the one who directed you to use the suckling nature, to suck, the sucking function provided for you, enabling you to suckle the milk from your mom. And moreover, He, enabled him, is the one who placed love, tender care, compassion, love, and the sense of attachment in your parents' heart to employ all what they have for your comfort, well-being, early stage of your life, when you needed the care, the shelter, the comfort, and other things. Furthermore, He is the one who provided you with natural intelligence, mental faculties, sense, energy, strength, and so forth to care for yourself and for others, professing the Creator's abilities and graces unto you. That's Allah, your Lord, Allah the Almighty. He did that all for you. He isn't in need of any. He is Al-Ghani, Jalla wa'ala, the richest. Allah Almighty stated that in His glorious Quran by saying, it is He who brought you forth from the wombs of your mom when you knew nothing, and He gave you hearing, sight, intelligence, and affections, that you may give thanks. لعلكم تشكرون. 1878. If Allah, the Almighty, stopped His virtuous care for a glimpse of an eye of us, if He stopped it for that none time, men, women, and children, or for only few minutes, our entire life or world would collapse, vanish, come to an end, or be distracted. It is because of His mercy, blessings, care, gifts, grants. Only Allah the Almighty, mercy, blessing, care, gifts, grants unto us, that leads us to think that Allah the Almighty is entitled for most important right of all. That is why He enabled Him has the full first important right to be achieved by all His mankind. He, the Almighty, definitely has the right of creating us from nothing, preparing us for whatever we shall become, while realizing we are completely incapable of doing anything. And last but not the least, providing us with all that we have in terms. What is the meaning of that? The meaning of that, He and our team supplies us with terms to do that, like health, strength, senses, food, shelter, abilities, and yet Allah the Almighty does not ask anything in return. He didn't ask anything of return. In return, He is al-Ghani. He isn't in need of any. He Almighty doesn't ask anything in return for all. In return for all His gifts, grants, bounties offered by generously, without limitation, as He grants to all who believe in Him, follow His teachings and commands, and to those who do not as well. He requires no favor from us. He demands no provision or food or drink, as He, the Almighty, is neither in need of nourishment nor in need for us for that reason. Allah Jalla wa Ala Almighty stated in His glorious Quran, enjoin prayer on people and be constant therein. You ask thy not to provide sustenance. We provided for thee, but the fruit of thee hereafter is the righteousness. Allah Jalla wa Ala in 21:32 said that the only thing that Allah the Almighty demands from His creation, which is a gain for man's interest, if applied, fulfilled, and practiced, is to worship Allah alone, having no partners. Is to worship Allah alone, having no partners. This is the only aim of creation, is to worship Him alone, having no partners. Him alone with any association of others with Him in worship is not at all needed or asked. He should be worshipped alone, without any association, without any association of others with Him in worship. Allah Almighty stated in His glorious Quran, I have only created jinn and ins, or jinn and mankind, that they may serve me. No sustenance do I require of them, nor do I require that they should feed me. ما أريد منهم من رزق وما أريد أن يطعمون. For why? God is who gives all sustains. Sustenance is given by Allah only. هو الرزاق ذو القوة المتين. Lord of power, is steadfast forever. 51 verses 56 to 58. الذاريات verses 56 to 58. Allah Jalla wa Ala, the Almighty, demands complete, through and unrestricted submission. Complete, unrestricted submission in slavery for Him, to behave as a slave. To behave as a slave in respect of His position as full and complete Lord. Cherisher and caretaker. Man must present himself before his creation and cherisher in full humiliation, obedience, submission to His commands, and will without questioning. We should not ask any questions. We should not say why we do that, why not less than that, why all that. We should never ever ask. No questions concerning the validity of the rule or even the wisdom behind it, as He Jalla wa Ala, the Almighty, knows well what it is good for His creation as a sole creator. Man is required to fully believe wholeheartedly, with his full heart. Man is required to belief. He should be fully believe wholeheartedly in that is reported soundly, truly of his Creator through his prophets, messengers, books, or scriptures. Man could easily see, could easily touch, could easily feel all the graces of Allah, the Almighty. He easily can feel and touch all graces surrounding him in all his life. Therefore, it is not extremely impolite, rude, and inconsiderate to deny all these gifts and graces again and again and again, again and again and again, in order to know, in order to feel, in order to try to behave as a slave. Allah, the Almighty, demands complete, through and unrestricted submission in slavery for Allah. Why all that? Because it is in respect of his position as full, complete Lord, cherisher and caretaker. Man must present himself before his Creator and before his cherisher in full humiliation, obedience, submission to his commands, to his will, without questioning the validity of the rule or even the wisdom behind it. Why? Because Allah Almighty knows well what it is good for his creations as a sole creator. Man is required to fully believe wholeheartedly in that is reported soundly and truly of his Creator through his prophets, messengers, books, scriptures. Man could easily see and touch and feel all graces of Allah, all graces of Allah the Almighty surrounding us in all our life, and therefore it is not extremely impolite, rude, and inconsiderate to deny all these gifts and graces. It is a fact that if any provided you with a fraction of what Allah the Almighty has provided you, you would give him a proper respect, consideration to whatever he demands of you, as long as such requests are within reason. Of course, it is true. So it's not awful to confront one's Lord, Creator, Cherisher, and Caretaker with denial of his commands, denial of his rules, denial of his teachings, his instructions, which is for the benefit, for the welfare, for the well-being of man himself, not surely for the benefit of the Lord himself. In fact, all good that comes to man is definitely from his Lord Allah Almighty, and all evil or bad things dismissed from man is also due to the mercy of Allah the Almighty, as Allah the Almighty stated in his glorious Quran and you have no good things, but is from God. And moreover, when you are just touched by distress unto him, you cry with groans. Surah 6, verse 53. I'll stop here to continue later on, inshallah, hoping that you really benefit in more knowledge about Allah. جزاكم الله خيرا بارك الله فيكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.